I mean, I think it's good that Trump is like not letting as many foreigners into our country anymore. It's like no, like good. Changes mean that ESCA authorization or U.S. visa is not sufficient enough to automatically allow the holder to enter the USA, and the final decision rests with immigration officials and border authorities. Dude, that's what's actually amazing. I mean, I think it's good that Trump is like not letting as many foreigners in. Sorry, man. I tried my best. I tried my best. Sorry, man. I tried my best. I tried my best. Fishing Zombie! What's up, my man? Good to see you, Fishing Zombie. Just found out my nephew got charged by a grizzly bear. No, down by Lima earlier today. No. Where the heck is Lima? Oh, way southwest Montana. No way. They were down there fly fishing. He had to jump in the river to avoid the bear. His buddy shot at the bear. I have no idea if he hit it. I ran back. It ran back into the brush. I don't have many details. Oh my goodness, Fishing Zombie. Dude, and who was just talking about Fishing Zombie? Who was just... Did you hear me talking about grizzly bears on the radio the other day? Sorry, man. No, but I know that the numbers are way higher than they should be. Otherwise, we will see many more interactions between humans. Exactly, Fishing Zombie. When I guest hosted the radio show the other day, I sent a segment talking about because there was a first grizzly bear encounter was just reported in the news as well. Like the day I hosted, like one of the news stories that day was like the Montana's first like grizzly encounter, and I brought it up, and I brought it up how we need to have a hunting season and we need to start shooting these grizzlies and all this stuff. So that's crazy, man. The 3K. How many are in there? How many did I get in there? I just got to work. I'll share more details as I hear them. Thank you, Fish and Zombie. Yeah, I'd like to know more. What's crazy about that, Fish and Zombie, is like I didn't know that. Are you watching your own VODs? Yes, I am. Entero. Yes, I am. Yo, Fish and Zombie. The crazy thing about that is like I didn't necessarily think that jumping into the water would save you from a charging grizzly bear. That's kind of interesting. Like, that's kind of good to know. Like, if a grizzly bear is charging you and you're like, dude, jump into the freaking river, man. Jump into the, like, that's good to know. If that works, if that saves you, you know, that'd be good for everybody to know. Yeah, dude, Entero. Here's the other funny thing, Entero. I've been watching my VODs. I've been watching VODs before and making clips like this and making shorts. Before, and people have come in here and I've just been like bursting out laughing at some of these clips that I made and stuff, and people were just like, dude, this is so crazy that you can tickle yourself like that like you find yourself funny. Like, that's very weird. And I was like, really? Huh, okay. What's the largest animal you think you could take without the leg hack? Dude, most humans couldn't even take the biggest, can't even take a dog. There's various types of dogs. I don't have much. I could maybe take on a dude. I could. I don't even think I could take on a mad raccoon. I bet I could take on a rat. PM, what's up, PM?
Come on, jump.
Yo, Purple, shoot out the telly and shoot out the door. Never mind.
Laying down smoke.
Boom! The 3K! Nice, that one was actually visible in the entire clip. That's good. Does not say the source for the BS is Politico, which tells you it's a repackaged lie. Dude, he doesn't. Yeah, if. So IRI is over there acting like this is some huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, big news, guys. Another anonymous source from mainstream media that's anti-Trump. Oh, this is such big news, guys. Are you serious? Dude, I'm gonna make. Seth, he does not say the source for the BS is Politico, which tells you it's a repackaged lie. Dude, he doesn't. Yeah, if. So IRI is over there acting like this is some huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, big news, guys. Another anonymous source from mainstream media that's anti-Trump. Oh, this is such big news, guys. Are you serious? Fantastic little clip there. That was generated by... Is Guess not here yet? Where's Guess at? Calling out, I'm really important. Calling out, I'm really important. Dumb Peg Seth, he does not say the source for the BS is Politico, which tells you it's a repackaged lie.
We have no one mid. Mid. Throwing a grenade.
Connector.
What a shot!
We have no one mid. Mid.
Oh, there's Guess. What's up, Guess? Riding Fence, what's up? Prolaw in the house as well. I saw earlier. Prolaw, welcome. I'm here reading the new court decision that came.
No. I'm not giving you feedback on your little BS.
Yo, Tylenol with the 45 bits. Thank you, Tylenol. Appreciate the 45 bits. Yo, Guess, I just put up a short on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube calling out IRI and specifically naming I'm really important. So if you wanna help me share that, guest, that would be very, very cool. Share that to go into IRI's chat and be like, yo, did you see Lecture Fan's new short where he calls out and destroys IRI? Want me to show it to you?
We have no one made.
Here, this is it. This is it right here. Check this out. Check this out. Don Pegseth, he does not say the source for the BS is Politico, which tells you it's a repackaged lie. Dude, he doesn't. Yeah, if. So IRI is over there acting like this is some huge deal. Like, oh my gosh, big news, guys. Another anonymous source from mainstream media that's anti-Trump. Oh, this is such big news, guys. Are you serious? Isn't that a good clip? Especially if you're IRI. Doomsday Clock. He has banned most of us. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot he banned you guys. Tylenol, IRI, that's I'm really important. I'm actually like, I would consider myself friends with him. We're friendly on Twitch, etc., etc. But he's a left-wing Twitch streamer. Dude, the burst! The burst fire!
One cat, one Tetris.
Sorry, guys. I'm just here's what I'm watching, guys. But sorry, I'm trying to put up some clips here before the stream got going too much here. Just doing a little bit of work from. That's why Donald Trump needs to veto this crap. But Trump wants his spending too, so Trump is going to get all of his blowout spending, and then he's going to sign it, and we're going to be in deep crap, I think, again. That's why Trump wants lower interest rates and is like threatening to fire Powell and like causing markets to crash. It's insanity, man. And then meanwhile, here we go. Trump tonight says he's not going to fire Powell, which is exactly what I was watching.
No, very.
Going to play hardball with them? Are you going to mention COVID?
Well, I'm not going to say. No, I'm not going to mention COVID. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to play hardball.
That's why
with
Donald
China.
Trump needs to
I'm
veto
going to play
this.
hardball with you, President Xi. No. We're going to be very nice. They're going to be very nice, and we'll see what happens. But ultimately, they have to make a deal because otherwise, they're not going to be able to deal in the United States. And we want them involved, but they have to, and other countries have to make a deal. And if they don't make a deal, we'll set the deal because we're the ones that set the deal. Scott and Howard and myself and others, we're going to be setting the deal, and it'll be a fair deal for everybody, and it'll be, I think it's a process that's going to go pretty quickly. We've spoken to many countries, and we're getting their views on things. You know, there are a lot of things. They have VAT taxes. They have everything you can have. Don't forget, as an example, the European Union was set up to take advantage of the United States. That's why it was set. And they've done that, but they're not doing that anymore. Yeah.
Mr. President, will you prevent Hamas from having any role in governing a post-war Gaza? And will Hamas have to be permanently eradicated for a ceasefire to be reached?
Well, we're not going to let Hamas do that, and we're going to see what happens with Gaza. But we've made a lot of progress in the Middle East, tremendous. Should have never happened. That date, that very special date, October 7th, should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president. But we'll be stopping that whole situation. Yeah, please.
Earlier today, Treasury Secretary Dustin suggested that with tariff rates as high as they are now, it's effectively an embargo trade between the United States and China. Do you see that?
That's true. 145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It got up to there. We were talking about fentanyl, where, you know, various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high.
What level do you think it'll come down to if you have it?
It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and
Miss Foxy, what's up, Miss Foxy? What's wrong with Gen Z, Miss Foxy? Hit us.
just not going to have. It's not going to happen. We're going to be very good to China. Have a great relationship with President Xi, but they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made. So that won't happen. But they're going to do very well, and I think they're going to be happy, and I think we're going to live together very happily and ideally work together. So I think it's going to work out very well. But no, it's at 145%. There will not be anywhere near that number.
There you go, Miss Foxy. Although, here's the Miss Foxy, how old are you? First, Miss Foxy, what or you don't have to tell me how old. Don't tell me how old you're. What generation are you? Are you Generation X? Are you millennial? I'm 26. Oh, okay. So you're Gen Z. Well, Miss Foxy, isn't Gen Z like pretty conservative? So I don't think there's anything wrong with Gen Z, is there?
Work that your team is doing on the border, are you happy with the rate of deportations right now?
Oh, it's amazing what they've done on the border. Thank you for the question, because honestly, it's one of the great successes. We have virtually nobody coming in illegally. We do have people coming in legally because we want people to come in, but we have nobody coming in through the border virtually. We were having hundreds.
Yeah, the problem's the baby boomers, Miss Foxy. Baby boomers were the ones that like voted for Kamala and like don't support Trump and don't approve of Trump's job, all that stuff. That's all baby boomers. It's actually Gen Z that's actually voted more for Trump, which is, of course, goes totally against the conventional wisdom, which is, typically how it works, frankly.
Of thousands of people a month come in under Biden, and they came in from prisons, they came in from mental institutions, they came in from gangs in Venezuela and other countries all over the world, not just South America. They were emptying their prisons into the United States. Venezuela emptied its prisons out, but many countries emptied their prisons into the Congo, as an example, in Africa, emptied their prisons into the United States. And we're getting them out, and I hope we get cooperation from the courts, because, we have thousands of people that are ready to go out, and you can't have a trial for all of these people. It wasn't meant, the system wasn't meant, and we don't think there's anything that says that, look, we are getting some very bad people, killers.
No, PM. Donald Trump said that he wasn't going to fire Powell, though. That's why the markets are like skyrocketing. The futures markets are skyrocketing right now because Trump said he's not going to fire Powell.
Murderers, drug dealers, really bad people, the mentally ill, the mentally insane. They emptied out insane asylums into our country. We're getting them out, and a judge can't say, no, you have to have a trial. The trial's going to take 2 years, and no, we're going to have a very dangerous country if we're not allowed to do what we're entitled to do. And I won an election based on the fact that we get them out, and we've done an amazing job. Look, we've stopped. Everybody admits, even the radical left, we have got the strongest border we've ever had. Even stronger than what I had for 4 years. We had a great border. We solved the problem. But it's a tad stronger, which is, I don't know if that's disappointing or not to me. I beat my own record. But I appreciate the question. Thank you, Daniel.
Yup, PM. Yup. 1927. What's up, 1927?
Well, thank you, Daniel. The question is
True.
Prices. The prices are going down, not going up. One of the big things is energy is going down. I see that we had a couple of states where gasoline was at $1.98 a gallon. Nobody thought they'd see that for years, maybe, and that's a big thing. And we opened up our wells. We opened up our drilling. We have more product now for sale. And we're also going to be selling outside of the country to a large extent. It's going to bring down our deficits, largely going to bring down our deficits. But if you remember my first week, I was standing here, Paul, and they were screaming about eggs. The cost of eggs have gone through the roof. They were up like 500, crazy, like 4 or 5 times. And we won't have eggs for Easter, they were saying. There will be no eggs. You can't order eggs. They wanted us to order plastic in the shape of eggs. Well, yesterday we had 48,000 people at the Easter hunt. They call it the Easter roll at the White House. And we had all eggs. And as you know, the cost of eggs has come down like 93, 94% since we took office. And they're pretty much normally priced now. Great job. Our Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, did a very good job. But groceries have come down. It's all coming down. The only thing that hasn't come down but hasn't gone up much are interest rates, and we think the Fed should lower the rate. We think that it's a perfect time to lower the rate, and would like to see our chairman be early or on time as opposed to late. Late's not good.
Mr. President, you said.
I don't want to talk about that because I have no intention of firing him.
Mr. President,
There are reports that you're considering doing something.
Oh, there it was. That was it. That was it right there. Wow. After all that Trump said, he had no intention of firing him? Thrash. What up, Thrash?
Late's not good.
Mr. President, you said.
I don't want to talk about that because I have no intention of firing. It's a perfect time to lower the rate, and since we took office, and they're pretty much normally priced now. Great job. Our Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, did a very good job. But groceries have come down. It's all coming down. The only thing that hasn't come down but hasn't gone up much are interest rates, and we think the Fed should lower the rate. We think that it's a perfect time to lower the rate, and would like to see our chairman be early or on time as opposed to late. Late's not good.
Mr. President, you said.
I don't want to talk about that because I have no intention of firing him.
Mr. President,
There are reports that
I have no intention of firing him. Really? Because you've literally been saying you're going to fire him for the last couple days. You literally caused the stock market, the Dow literally lost 1,000 points because you said you were going to fire him the other day. Thank you, Thrash. Good to see you, man.
for moms across the country, giving them some type of
How you been?
bonus for them to have a child.
Are you still a Democrat, Thrash? Are you still a Democrat, Thrash?
considering that, or are you
Sounds like a good idea to me. Yeah, please.
You have no intention of firing Jerome Powell because your economic advisor Kevin Hassett a few days ago said that you and people in the White House were studying this idea of possibly doing before his term ends.
No.
Do you have any plans on doing it?
None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates. This is a perfect time to lower interest rates. If he doesn't, is it the end? No, it's not. But it would be good timing. Could have taken place earlier. But no, I have no intention to fire him. I don't want to comment on that. That doesn't matter.
Mr. President, you said.
when can we expect the Epstein documents to be released? The rest of them.
Which documents?
The Epstein files?
I don't know. I'll speak to the Attorney General about that. I really don't know. I know that we've done the RFK. The Kennedy, Martin Luther King is out there very shortly, so we'll find out. But we've really announced.
Ruddy, what's up, Ruddy?
We're doing them in full
Yep.
transparency. You know.
Oh, totally, Ruddy. It's just printing money. Every time the market goes down, just buy it, and then Trump follows up, and then the market goes right back up. It's just it's like taking money from. I mean, what are the futures at right now? I mean, the market's closed insanely high. I think it's so stupid how like Wall Street Journal won't have doesn't have like the futures. It's like, okay, fine. I guess you're supposed to go to Market Watch, I guess. That's why they have this at the top. All right, here we go. Futures. Boom. Holy cow. Yeah. Look at that. The Dow futures are up. The Dow futures are up 1.38. S&P futures up 1.7. NASDAQ futures up 1.8. and going higher. Like, this is insane. Gold way off, silver way off, crude oil's up. Man, some of my shorts are doing pretty decent on YouTube. Oh, wow. We're up to 1,700 views in the last hour. Or actually in the last 24 minutes. 1,700 views. Let's go.
When we did JFK, people were saying, oh, maybe it wasn't all, it was all. And people actually went up to the office and they looked at some things that were, not really easily available. And they were amazed that we gave it all. And I don't know if it solved any problems for people. People still have questions one way or the other, but that I'm not.
Ruddy, are you talking to Thrash and Ruddy? Are you guys talking to each other, or who are you guys talking to?
But 100% of all of these documents are being delivered. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you said you're ultimately going to make a deal with China, but where do things stand right now? Have you talked to
I
him?
think my relationship, my relationship with President Xi is great. It's been great for a long time. We've had a very good relationship, and I think we'll make a deal with China.
Mr. President, in your meeting with...
If we don't make a deal, we'll set it. We'll just set the number, and, I think they'll want to be a part of the United States. We're doing great. This is the golden age, as Paul said. We're talking about the golden age. There will never be a time like this, in my opinion, and China wants to be a part of that, too.
Mr. President, in your meeting with investigation firm...
Sure they do.
Are you getting intelligence briefings, and do you think will
I have. I'll keep that to myself.
Mr. President, in your meeting...
Very personal.
Are you concerned about the impact of tariffs on West Coast ports with just sharp drawdown in Chinese imports coming in?
No, I think that everyone's going to do well in this country because of tariffs. We have $7 trillion of investment already. You can go back many years, and for a whole year, they haven't had anywhere near that. Mostly, they'd be well under $1 trillion of investment. And we've got $7 trillion. We really started 5 weeks ago. And in just a few weeks, literally, we have $7 trillion, which is a record for a year. There's never been a year with that much. And that's coming in, I think, for two reasons. It's coming because of an election that people liked, and it's coming in because of tariffs. And if you look at Apple, Apple's going to start building here. Right now, they're in China mostly. $500 billion. We have all of the computer chip companies are coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen before, as you know. Jensen came in for $500 billion. You saw that. A great guy, highly respected. Mr. Wei coming in for $250 billion. Nobody's ever seen anything. And the auto companies are coming in. I could name 8 right now already, auto plants that are either starting or about ready to start construction. There's never been, and the United Auto Workers and the non-union workers in the automobile industry, they love Trump, and I love them. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Congratulations, Paul.
Wow. Somebody else just tweeted out that that Trump is going to meet with President Xi today, or President Xi in May. If that's actually confirmed, like, I'm assuming that would cause the stock market to go. U.S. stock futures and the dollar rallied after President Trump said he is not planning to fire Powell. The president said 145% tariffs in China are very high. It won't be that high. It'll come down substantially. Earlier Tuesday, shares rebounded with major indexes climbing 2.5% or more. Big tech stocks regaining some ground, lost a day earlier. Traders were cheered by optimism from the White House on tariff negotiations. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said at an investor summit that he expects the trade war with China to de-escalate. He believes a deal can be reached. The bounce back came despite fresh fallout from Trump's tariffs. Defense contractor RTX said it was bracing for an $850 million financial hit, while Huggies maker said a shifting global geopolitical landscape was partly to blame for a lower profit outlook. The IMF / U.S. and global economic forecast warning that tariffs were ushering in a new era of slow growth. Goldman Sachs CEO said uncertainty was too high. holding back corporate decision making and keeping asset prices under pressure. Gold retreated after surging to a new record high above 3,500. Holy cow. Num, what's up, Num? I read an article about a whistleblower claimed Doge caused or was part of a cybersecurity breach at the NLRB. I read the illegal document he submitted to Congress. If you didn't have foundational cyber knowledge, you'd believe him. It's sad the media is spreading his lies. Oh, wow. Yeah, Num, that's interesting because it's usually that exact type of thing that finally convinces normies. And I'm not saying you were one, but it's like a lot of times when people have personal knowledge and personal experience with something the media is reporting on, they'll tell you, oh, whatever the media is saying is a lie. But you have to be, it may be something that you have to be an expert on to really know. So I totally believe that. After hours, Tesla reported quarterly results. Tesla profit sinks, hurt by backlash over Musk's political role. CEO says he'll spend significantly less time on Doge starting in May. Electric vehicle makers' net income falls 71%. Tesla's up. Oh no, it was up today. I wonder if after hours it's probably down. Not if you're Trump thrashing. You've got billions. And it's unethical and illegal to do that. If you don't think that Donald Trump's policies are causing short-term movements in the market, like I don't know what to tell you. What the heck do you think is causing massive spikes and massive drops lately?
Justice Kavanaugh?
A few questions. What's your understanding of how the surrounding counties are dealing with this? Frederick County, Howard County, Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, and the like?
Yeah, Carroll County, for example, has taken the position that it will teach inclusivity without indoctrinating students. And so it's not introducing this ideology, extreme ideology about gender, whether your body says anything about your gender, whether doctors guessed at your sex, whether your pronouns change day to day based on the weather or not, whether you should petition for, unisex bathrooms. It's teaching inclusivity without that indoctrination. And our clients agree. Every student deserves to be respected and loved, and nobody disagrees with that. But you don't do that by forcing others. In fact, religion is another one of the categories in the equity regulation that is required to be respected. The principals, when they first responded to this curriculum, their concern was for the religious students, that they were going to be dismissed and shamed for their beliefs.
And I think you just said this, but you're not seeking to prohibit instruction in the classroom. You're just seeking not to be forced to participate in that instruction.
That's correct.
The term coercive, I think, has been used in some of the colloquy, but the right term is burden. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. And if you think about their example of saying, like, the Fourth Circuit said that, the students were never asked to change their religious beliefs. Is it enough if you just ask them, will you change your religious beliefs? Or does there have to be something more? That is really not a workable standard. And schools should not be treated differently than any other government entity as far as what their obligation is. And it somewhat flips the Bill of Rights on its head if we're worried more about extreme examples that don't happen to protect the government from the parents as opposed to protecting the parents' fundamental rights to direct the religious upbringing of their children.
And then in terms of sincerity, in other words, if you're lying about your religious belief, that can be inquired into, but not the legitimacy, the reasonableness.
You'd have to know more about this case to know what the hell they're talking about there, I think. I'm saying the effects are correlation, not causation. Why aren't all the Trump fans getting rich off Trump sneezes or his detractors? You can make a lot of money in a volatile market, but also lose it. Yeah, good point. I think that's the answer. Nobody's willing to do this. So I'm trying to find, did Caroline Levitt do a... Caroline Levitt did a press briefing today, huh? Oh, there it is.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you all. The thoughts and prayers of the entire White House remain with all of the Catholics around the world who are mourning the death of Pope Francis.
Tylenol, thoughts on Trump suggesting on giving $5,000 baby bonus on new moms? We don't have the money, is my problem with it. I mean, I agree with promoting child rearing and that sort of a thing. But no, we don't have any money for that.
Pope Francis touched millions of lives and dedicated his life to serving the Catholic Church. As a mark of respect for his memory, President Trump ordered flags be flown at half-staff, and he will be traveling to attend his funeral in Rome. The president will depart from Washington on Friday morning and return to the United States on Saturday evening following the funeral service. I can also confirm the dates of the president's trip to the Middle East. He will travel to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates from May 13th until May 16th. And on Thursday of this week, President Trump will welcome Norwegian Prime Minister at the White House for a working visit. The two leaders will discuss trade and regional security. This will be the 13th head of state visit of President Trump's term already. At the border, President Trump continues to deliver on his promise to make America safe again. The Wall Street Journal captured the Trump effect in a recent article. Border crossings grind to a halt as Trump's tough policies take hold. U.S. Customs and Border Protection recorded its lowest southwest border crossings in history in March, and we're seeing the same successes at our northern border. Here's how the New York Post put it. Northern border sector previously overrun by illegal migrants sees dramatic drop in crossings. We haven't seen anyone since November, end quote. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, just 54 illegal aliens were apprehended in the Swanton sector of our northern border, which stretches more than 300 miles in March. This is a drastic 95% drop from the more than 1,000 border crossings that were caught in March 2024. This is a main hotspot area that recorded more than 80% of all apprehensions along the northern border during the 2024 fiscal year. And new reporting from the Washington Times fully highlights the difference in Joe Biden's disgraceful approach to the border compared to President Trump's. Under Trump, border catch and release has dropped 99.99% from worst Biden month. You can't get much better than that. This statistic in particular is astounding. Border Patrol agents caught and immediately released 189,604 illegal aliens into the United States in December 2023 at the height of the Biden border crisis. But under President Trump, Border Patrol agents caught and released only 20 illegal aliens into the U.S. in the month of February. Thanks to President Trump, operational control of the border is becoming a reality, and the administration's historic enforcement measures are yielding huge results. Illegal aliens are finally getting the blunt message. If you cross the border illegally, you will be swiftly deported and never return to the United States of America. Efforts to arrest the criminal illegal alien invaders are continuing to ramp up. ICE Chicago arrested a Mexican national convicted of predatory sexual assault of a child in Cook County, Illinois. This week, ICE Denver arrested a Mexican national convicted of sexual assault of a child in Houston County, Texas. ICE Miami arrested a Nicaraguan convicted of aggravated battery in Hillsborough County, Florida. ICE Houston arrested a Salvadorian national convicted of attempted sexual assault of a child in Escape in Dallas County, Texas. And ICE Chicago arrested a Mexican national convicted of aggravated sexual abuse of a minor in Illinois. Despite the Democrats' insane objections, President Trump will continue to embolden law enforcement officers to arrest dangerous legal alien criminals and keep our communities safe. And also, thanks to President Trump's America First economic approach, investments continue to pour into our country. Swiss pharmaceuticals company announced they will be investing $50 billion in the United States.
Sorry, guys. I'm texting everybody my new YouTube video that I just posted here from my phone. I'll show it to you guys real quick so you guys know what I'm talking about. But I just posted this. If you guys would, very much would appreciate you guys watching it, I'll show you the beginning of it. All right, folks, it is Good Friday, about what, 6 o'clock? 50 degrees out here. It's 50 degrees. You'd think it'd be a little bit warmer, but it feels good at 50 degrees for a Good Friday, Easter weekend. Haven't seen this thing in a while. More progress. More progress. Look, what you call that, the soffit?
Yeah.
Custom soffit?
Yeah. Got some pieces of rough sawn fur.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Off of some cut ends and stuff off of a job.
Oh, cool. Were you authorized to take it off
Oh
the
yeah,
job?
no, it was just like, it was going to the dumpster.
That looks so good, Dad.
See, then I'm gonna maybe try to find enough of the.
Anyway, there's a little preview for you. All right. Yo, 50K is the new max. Yes, Altair. Yes, 50,000 is the new max. So, Altair, anybody that's interested in knowing the new rules on the... I should have put money in the VIX when Trump came into office. Oh, my gosh. No kidding. No, but so the new rules on the bets are that the new max bet is 50,000. The cooldown is now 26 minutes. So the cooldown is longer, but the bets are higher.
States over the next 5 years, creating 12,000 new quality jobs. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals also agreed to pay Fujifilm Technologies more than $3 billion over the next decade to help manufacture its medicines in the United States. It's a top priority for President Trump to ensure we are producing critical medicines and pharmaceutical drugs right here in America, and that is exactly what we continue to see happen every day. In other news, the Trump administration has announced we will put an end to Joe Biden's illegal student loan bailout attempts. No student loan has been referred to collection since March of 2020. That comes to an end. On May 5th, the Department of Education will resume involuntary collections for borrowers with defaulted federal student loans. The student loan portfolio controlled by the federal government is nearly $1.6 trillion, but fewer than 4 out of 10 borrowers are in repayment. This is unsustainable, unfair, and a huge liability for American taxpayers. Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans? The Trump administration will never force taxpayers to pay student loan debts that don't belong to them. Student loan borrowers need clarity, and we're finally giving it to them. Borrowers will now be clearly expected to repay their loans, and those who default on their loan obligations will face involuntary collections. The government can and will collect defaulted federal student loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages. America is $36 trillion in debt. We must get our fiscal house in order and restore common sense to our country. If you take out a loan, you have to pay it back. It's very simple. President Trump will not kick the can down the road anymore. Before we open it up to questions today, I want to commend our pool photographer who is in the room.
Yo, guess no, I have not seen the new RNC Lab.
Welcome to El Salvador, home to breathtaking sunsets, world-class surf breaks, and gangbanger Kilmer Abrego Garcia.
Wow.
El Salvador is the destination for Democrats seeking the thrill of bringing violent criminal illegal aliens back to America. Come witness Trump derangement syndrome in its purest form. From Chris Van Hollen to Cory Booker. You may even see John Ossoff. So what are you waiting for, Senate Democrats? Join your colleagues and step into the rhythm of rescue today. Welcome to El Salvador.
That is fantastic.
Home to breathtaking sunsets, world-class surf breaks, and gangbanger Kilmer.
Wow. Wow. That is insane. Vix is the play. Hey, chaos. Thrash, that's the word. You should add a decay to encourage people to regularly tune in, a tax, if you will. Oh, I love that, Altair. I wonder if I don't know how to do that unless I did it manually. I don't know how to do that with this bot that I have. Oh my gosh, I got something in my eye. Ugh. Pay your own student loans. That is good. Tesla struggled to overcome competitive pressure overseas and a reputational hit from Musk's polarizing role. Musk said he would be devoting significantly less time to his federal cost-cutting work at Doge starting next month, but struck a defiant tone against critics. I believe the right thing to do is fight the waste and fraud and try to get the country back on the right track. The EV maker reported adjusted earnings, which missed expectations, said the shifting trade policies exacerbated by the admin's tariff regime are stressing supply chains while adding to costs. Tesla imports battery cells from China, said it was looking to source them in the U.S. instead. Changing political sentiment could weigh on demand for its vehicles, leading it to potentially revisit its sales forecast. Tesla said it expected vehicle sales to rise after reporting a rare drop. Wow. Well, okay. Investors' concerns over Trump's trade war and his previous threats of firing the Fed chair had stirred up market volatility Monday. The Dow Jones gained over 1,000 points. Treasury yields edged lower. The VIX retreated below 31. Bitcoin rose over 91,000. Dude, the hilarious thing is everybody is acting like the market's crashing and this is a horrible, horrible thing. And like Bitcoin's still over 90 grand. Like Palantir's trading at almost 100 a share. Like what, the market's off like 10%. I mean, and people are, it's not even as big of a market drop as 2022.
Room with us today. ABC News photojournalist Melissa Young is retiring after 44 incredible years on the job, covering here at the White House. Melissa, congratulations. You have the largest round of applause I've ever heard in this room. So there's something we can all agree on, and it's you've had an incredible career here covering the White House. So congratulations to you, and we hope you enjoy retirement. I'm sure you will. And everybody else in the room will be very jealous of you as you're enjoying your rest. All right, let's get to it. We have an individual in our new media seat today. His name is Tim Pool. He's a political commentator and a media entrepreneur with millions of followers, a very big platform. Currently hosts Timcast IRL, a daily news and discussions show, and The Culture War, a weekly podcast exploring cultural and political issues. His programs feature in-depth conversations on topics such as free speech, censorship, identity politics, and societal change, often engaging with a diverse range of guests. He's in Washington today because we are also hosting a local media row across the street in the Eisenhower Building, which is a testament to our commitment to bring new voices into the White House to cover the president and this administration. So, Tim, why don't you kick us off today?
Yes. Many of the news organizations that are represented in this room have marched in lockstep on false narratives, such as the Very Fine People hoax, the Covington smear, and now what's being called the Maryland Man hoax, where an MS-13 gang member adjudicated by 2 different judges, I believe.
Fantastic first question ever from Tim Pool. Let's go. Oh, nice guess. Thank you, guess. Thank you, guess. Let's go. Let's go. I'm about ready to go freaking splash water in my eye. All right, let's throw this up on YouTube. Let's throw this up on TikTok. Let's send this up on Instagram.
is just simply being referred to as a Maryland man over and over again. Now, in an effort from the White House to expand access to new companies, you've created this new media seat. So I'm wondering if you can comment on, following this expansion, you've had numerous outlets disparage the companies that you've had sit here, as well as the reporters. I'm wondering if you could comment on the unprofessional behavior, as well as elaborate if there's any plans to expand access to new companies.
Sure. Well, we certainly welcome diverse viewpoints in this room, which is one of the reasons we have you in here, and there's many new faces in this room in comparison to the previous administrations. We want to welcome all viewpoints into this room. We welcome unbiased journalists who really care about the truth and the facts and the accuracy, and you rightfully pointed out the Maryland man story, which I, from this podium, when The Atlantic published it, on that very first day, I came to this podium and said, this is wrong. The press in this room have this story wrong, and we...
Awesome guess. Good clip. I was hoping that would be a good clip. Let's go. Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be clip farming again. Do you guys know how long it's been since I've clip farmed like this?
Have seen more and more evidence come to the table that we have had all along. We were always right. The president was always on the right side of this issue to deport this illegal criminal from our community. And it is despicable to see the media continue to refer to this individual as someone who is just a peaceful man living his life in Maryland. This was and always has been an illegal criminal, an MS-13 gang member, and a designated foreign terrorist. And the administration maintains our position to deport these individuals from our community. So thank you for being here, Tim. It's great to see you.
Bro, I've done 3,000 views on YouTube in the last hour. 3,100 now. I've done over 3,100 views in the last hour on YouTube. Don't scoff at that 22 cents a day. You try to do 3,000 views in an hour on YouTube.
Thank you. Dasha, why don't you kick us off?
Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. I have two questions, one on the Pentagon and another on the economy. You said on Fox News that the entire Pentagon is working against Secretary Hegseth.
Guy Wilson, what's up?
Who were fired were Hegseth's own guys. So how do you square that, and what do you say to concerns that that's bad management?
They were Pentagon employees who leaked against their boss to news agencies in this room. And it's been clear since day one from this administration that we are not going to tolerate individuals who leak to the mainstream media, particularly when it comes to sensitive information. And the Secretary of Defense is doing a tremendous job, and he is bringing monumental change to the Pentagon. And there's a lot of people in this city who reject monumental change, and I think, frankly, that's why we've seen a smear campaign against the Secretary of Defense since the moment that President Trump announced his nomination before the United States Senate. Let me reiterate, the president stands strongly behind Secretary Hegseth in the change that he is bringing to the Pentagon, and the results that he's achieved thus far speak for themselves.
Is there an FBI investigation into the leaks? The Secretary said that these people would be prosecuted, so is the FBI investigating?
You'd have to ask the FBI, you have to ask the Department of Justice on what they plan to do, but certainly we take leaks with the...
Whoa! Gas gifting a tier 1 sub to Guy Wilson. Thank you, Gas. Appreciate that so much, man.
Most seriously across this administration. You've seen people fired from the Department of Homeland Security. The president has made it clear it's an unacceptable behavior.
And on the economy, Caroline, Peter Navarro said that it's perfectly possible to do 90 deals in 90 days. We haven't seen one just yet. How soon might we see a deal, and what evidence can you share that progress is being made in these trade negotiations?